Okay, the third house. The third house talks about communication in astrology. It's about communication and the mind and thinking and our thought processes, which thinking and communication has heavily to do with writing as well. So it's also associated with Gemini. So writing, again, communication, thinking, but it's also associated with our siblings and early childhood education and our peers. And I believe the connection is because in early childhood education, we basically form our habits of our thinking processes, like how we think. We learn, so we learn more how to think. We are interacting with our siblings and our peers, so we gain a greater sense of ourselves through our interacting with others of our own age. So it's that early development that goes into how we think. Because, for example, if you have a very tumultuous childhood, you're going to probably form some anxiety thinking patterns, and you're going to probably carry that into adulthood. So that's just one example. But also, the third house has to do with our interests. And when we talk about our interests, it's like what interests our mind. So when you think about, like, maybe you could think of the types of books you like the genres, the type of things that you like to consume, like on TV, things like that. The fifth house is more hobbies and things that we like to do for fun, but the third house is more like interests that are intrinsic to us. And siblings really do have a lot of impact on the interests that we have going forward in life. At least that's how I feel with me and my siblings. And then the third house also pertains to short distance travel. And I've always wondered the connection between this one, because the third house being across from the ninth house in the chart, the ninth house has to do with long distance travel, and the third house, short distance travel. And short distance travel, we travel short distances to go and see our peers, to go to school with our early childhood education, but also to pursue our interest. And we do long-term or long-distance travel when we go to pursue knowledge of other cultures and to go for the higher learning, which is like to kind of experience more, which is why the ninth house is associated with Sagittarius. In my opinion, because it has to do with cultures and experiencing and beliefs and higher learning, as opposed to our interest and early childhood learning of the third house. But what I've seen in a lot of charts too, just to kind of talk about the third house, is that I've seen a lot of repression in people's charts when it comes to the third house. And that makes sense, because I think society really in our early childhood and in my opinion with schooling, because it's just so constrictive, really makes us feel constricted in our communication. And I do also feel like we maybe don't go over communication skills as much as we should as a society as well. So I think maybe we just don't also feel that confident in our communication. So I've just noticed some repression patterns internally in charts when I do readings for the third house. So that is to go over the third house. And in the terms of going through the life cycle of the chart, we have the I am, and then the I have, and then we're going into the I like, our interests, and then we're going to go into the fourth house, which has to do with our family and our emotional states. So that will be next. So yeah, follow along.